Hi, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Ponzio.
And Mrs. Ray. Here is your Wednesday night homework video. Okay, boys and girls, just to review, on Monday we worked on sensory language, and on Tuesday we reviewed dialogue. Tonight we're going to go back into our stories, and we are going to make sure that we have strong verbs in our story. Miss Ray's class is going to use a yellow highlighter, and Miss Ponzio's class is going to use a
blue highlighter. So for homework tonight, you guys are going to go back into your strong verbs exercise in your writing notebooks, and you are going to highlight your strong verbs that you included in your writing. As a reminder, verbs are the action in the sentences. They're what the characters in your story are doing. So if you take a look at my entry that I did in my writing notebook here, you'll notice that I have underlined, you guys are going to highlight, all of the strong verbs that I thought I included in my assignment. So if you look even at this first one here, I said, look, there's a whale, I squealed. It would be a weak verb to just say I said, but instead I chose to say I squealed to show my readers what I was doing in that sentence. Later, I say, everyone around me gasped and craned their necks. It would be a lot more boring to say everybody around me ran to look at the whale. So I tried to show my readers what the people on the boat were doing by saying that they gasped and craned their necks. So you're going to keep going through your story and do just that. Look for those really strong verbs that you used in your sentences. Now remember, you might notice that I only underlined and you're only going to highlight single words, just the strong verbs. You are not highlighting full sentences as you have done for Monday night's homework and Tuesday night's homework. If you remember, when you were writing this entry in your writing notebooks, I told you to try to include at least 10 strong verbs in your writing. So that is what you're going to be double checking for tonight. If you have 10 strong verbs in your writing, then you are all set. All you need to do is highlight those 10 strong verbs. If you have more, great. If you don't have 10, now is your opportunity to insert those 10 into your writing.
Okay, so when you're going back through your story, you might find a verb that you no longer find to be as strong as you thought it was. For instance, when I'm thinking of the word playing, it doesn't give me a true picture in my mind. So I might decide to change that word playing to the word splashing. Well, this is what we call a band-aid, because all we're doing is we're changing one word in our story for another word. So we can easily just scratch that verb out, write our new verb off to the side, and we could even use a little caret to show that it goes into that spot. Just like if you have a small little cut on your finger, you can just put a band-aid on it and fix it. So we have fixed this problem.
All right, just so that everybody remembers, weak verbs are what we want to avoid. And if you think about a weak verb, one example is ate or eat, right? If you think about eating food, you think that that might be a really vivid verb. You might be able to imagine in your mind someone eating something. But if we look at this sentence, the tiger ate his dinner, that verb is not nearly as strong as it could be. So if you are going to take the verb ate and make it stronger to really show your readers what's happening, you might notice that these two sentences create very different pictures in your mind, even though they both mean the same thing. They both mean that he ate his dinner. If you look at the first one here, you'll notice that the tiger devoured his dinner. That's our verb there. When we think about devouring someone's dinner, that means you can picture food all over his face. You know that he was so hungry. He might have inhaled his dinner really quickly if he devoured it. So it's very, very vivid in our heads.
And the next sentence, the tiger nibbled his dinner, well, this paints a different picture in my mind. This tells me that he's being very patient and he's taking these small little bites from his dinner. The password tonight is a strong verb,
burrowed. Some of you right now might be panicking, thinking, oh my goodness, I was absent that day and I don't have this assignment in my writer's notebook. Well, now is your opportunity to problem solve. This is your time for homework tonight. You are going to write a paragraph using strong verbs, and you can practice. After you finish, then you can highlight those strong verbs, and you will be all caught up with the rest of us. That's it. Good luck, everyone. We will see you in class tomorrow. Have a good night.